Hello, this is Matthew Eshed reporting to you once again. Climatetech Advisors. This is made expressly for our media presence. We're just getting started. This is episode 2. 2 out of N. N being the total set. Undefined total number of things. So we call it N, the lowercase n. If you want to learn more about symbolic representation, let me know. Reach out. Contact at climatetechadvisors.com. Okay, the boat is moving. I don't know how often this type of thing is happening on this boat here, but that's okay. I'm doing it. That's really what this is about, climate innovation. It's about doing something that others are not doing. Or let's be more expansive. Many others are doing it. Lots of others are doing it with us. We just bring new energy. We have to take risks. We have to forge new paths, or at least we have to be open, receptive, and we need to be able to distinguish where the paths are. They might not be so obvious, but they start with you. They start inside of you. They start with your drive. Your drive to act, your drive to create, your drive to try, your drive to take risks, your drive to stick your neck out. Take a leap. So
I'm up in the sky on the top of the New York City Ferry, so I guess I
Stop,
can,
Williamsburg.
Next
stop will be Pier 1.
pull my mask down. Shout out to the NYPD. Thank you for getting me this mask. A couple of days ago, I was riding my bicycle down the park. East River Park right over there. I'm looking at it. This is South Williamsburg and what you're looking at right behind me. And so that means that right over that way is Manhattan and the East River Park. So I was riding my bicycle down the East River, and I made a feeble attempt to pull up my kind of neck thing here over my mouth as I rode by the police, and they saw it. They caught me in my little shenanigans, and so he handed me the two of these masks, and I was very grateful. And now I'm wearing it. It's quite nice. It's very easy. It's very simple. I can just pull it up over my nose and mouth. I can pull it only over my mouth to prevent those spit particles from flying out onto the aerosols in case I do have some virus inside me, expectorating it out. So, anyway, I am excited to be reporting to you. We're pulling away from the dock now. We're going to be heading south on the river. And I'll talk a little bit about the ferry, the New York City Ferry. So in approximately 2017, sometime a year or two ago, it was announced that the L train, one of the critical arteries for going between Manhattan and Brooklyn, would shut down for a year and a half, entirely shut down. Wouldn't run only on one track. It would shut down. The plan to run it only on one track would last 3 years, whereas a full shutdown would last a year and a half. And this is a very, very it's used a lot. This ferry, this subway, the L train, for those rush hour. Those cars are completely packed like sardines. And so, where are all of those people going to go? How are they going to cross the river? This river that we're on. Let's see, what do we see here in the background? I think, there we go. I see the Manhattan Bridge coming into view. Look at this. You're getting a little tour of New York. You're learning about Climatetech. You're learning about New York City history. You're learning about New York City infrastructure. Amazing. Welcome to Climatetech Advisors. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, any other advisors in any other places, any other locations. If you'd like to report out to us, you're welcome. You are more than welcome. We'd love to have you. We'd love to hear your story. We'd love to hear your perspective, as long as it's focused on one thing, and that is climate change as an opportunity. So, bringing us back to the ferry here, New York City Ferry. So, Mayor Bill de Blasio, in response to the impending shutdown of the L, they said, well, we need to increase the other modes of transportation. People have to cross the river, right? We have the bridges, okay, so we have cars and buses, we have the subways going over the bridges, we have the bike paths, so we have City Bike, so that's a bike share here, our bike share, called City Bike because of the bank, Citibank. And let's ramp up ferry service. So the city signed contracts with Hornblower, and I forget the other name. Maybe I'll place it as a little text box here in the video, maybe down here somewhere. I'll say, here's the name of the other ferry service that the city signed a contract for. They painted them these really beautiful, majestic white and blue, very crisp New York City Ferry. It's a lot of style, as New York City has. And they reduced the price. They reduced the price from about $6 a ride down to $2.75 a ride, which matches the price of the buses and subways. And they increased the service. So here we have it, and people started taking the ferry. They said, okay, the L train's going to be shut down for a year and a half, so I'm going to get used to taking the ferry. I'm going to reconfigure my commute. And you know what? The ferry is commuting in style. I mean, look at me. I'm on my way to work. Let's say I work down in the Dumbo neighborhood, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, which is indeed where I'm heading. Let's say I work there. Here we go. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but I get to feel the East River wind in my hair. I get to see the nice bridges. I get to see that's the World Trade Center in the background. It's a very pleasant ride. Okay, so then what happens is the governor, Andrew Cuomo, he comes out one day, who, by the way, the MTA, which is the agency that oversees the subways and buses in New York City, is a state agency, not a city agency. MTA is a state agency. So the state governor comes in and says, hey, we found this technology where we actually don't need to shut down the L train for a year and a half. We're only going to go with that one tunnel shutdown because something. To be honest, I don't know the details of this technology or what they found, but I believe that it came out of a university. It most likely involves some type of computation on the back end, some type of imaging, most likely. A collaborative, global, multi-stakeholder initiative, right? We like those things. That's why we like software. And there we have it. Now the L train doesn't need to close down anymore. And the ferries, meanwhile, had received all of this investment to ramp them up. Contracts were signed with these big ferry providers. The price of the ferry was reduced to the price of the subway. Okay, just don't want any droplets from the bridge to come down onto my laptop. Okay, we're safe. And there we have it. So, ferries, Climatetech, well, multimodal transportation is Climatetech. Look, this is an opportunity. We can say, oh, well, my commute is going to be so much longer because I'm going to take the ferry because the subway is shut down. Okay, yeah, but The river air feels great. It's beautiful. I really don't mind doing this once or twice a day. It's quite nice. And so these are the opportunities that we have, people. These are the opportunities when we give up our cars, when we transition from one mode of transportation to another, because that's really what we need to do. We need to get used to not flying. We need to get used to not taking cruise ships. We need to get used to not driving. We need to get used to being flexible. Here we have it. When we're flexible, climate change as an opportunity is definitively flexible. We actually benefit. We find that the world has a bounty for us to share with us, for us to experience, to appreciate, and to ultimately make our lives better and to open us up to new opportunities. That is the power, that is the magic of climate change as an opportunity. It is fundamentally about opening new spaces, new potentials, just like our ancestors who built this Brooklyn Bridge behind me, soon to be above us. That's the opportunity that they saw when they spanned this gap between this island over here of Manhattan and this island over here of Long Island, the county, Brooklyn. What's the county of Brooklyn? Kings County. The county of Kings. How could I forget? From the county of New York to the county of Kings. They built this bridge over 100 years ago, and here it stands. Just like they built this bridge and the other two bridges that we've gone under on this trip here, Climatetech Advisors Media, episode 2. We too are building bridges. We too are spanning. We're spanning the past to the future. We're spanning the old way to the new way. We're spanning the fossil fuel-based economy to the regeneration and life-based economy. We're spanning from confusion and doubt to motivation, optimism, and confidence. Hello. Hello, this is Matthew Eshed reporting in for Climatetech Advisors. I'm reporting to you from Brooklyn Bridge Park. There's our lovely bridge. You can see it right here in the near background. You can see in the further background the Manhattan Bridge and our beautiful, wonderful, historic, visionary Empire State Building right there. That was the biggest building, tallest building in the world. There's the Chrysler Building. I can't see it. That's the sad, tragic fate of the Chrysler Building. Was when it was built, it also was the tallest building. It was the tallest building in the world at the time, but shortly after the Empire State Building was built, with the spire actually exceeding the height of the Chrysler Building. Now that was not announced, that was a secret until it was opened, that it would actually be the world's tallest building. And so the majestic, silver, shiny, glorious, futuristic Chrysler Building was no longer the tallest building in the world, to be replaced by the Empire State Building. Okay, so that's in the background. Now, enough on the history of New York. That's not necessarily what we're here to do, but I'm happy to share as we go on and on. That might become a larger facet of what we do. I'm going to change my position here. It's a little bit dark because I'm under shade of this tree. I hope that's okay for everybody. I want to talk a little bit about our composting situation here in New York. Just a few short years ago, a pilot program was started in New York where these little brown bins would started to appear throughout the boroughs for residential organic waste disposal. And the New York City Department of Sanitation started to collect the organic waste from the residents. Here we are years later, and many people still don't even know what is compost. What is it? What is it? How does it work? Why should I do it? Why should I think and put my food stuff in a different bag from the same trash bag I've always put it in? Why should I do that? What's the point? Forget about it, right? I don't know anything about that. Right? Though many people did participate. Lots of people participated because, look, when you understand, when you get it, it just makes sense. It's just really the right thing to do. It just makes complete sense, from preventing all that wet refuse from being mixed in those black bags into the compactor, right? In the compactor in your building, takes it out of the trucks. That means that those bags that get left out on the street don't have food waste in them anymore, so the rats have less to eat, less food. Right? It's just reduces the nuisance, the reduced nuisance when we collect our organic waste. So then something curious happened. Something very curious happened once this coronavirus, COVID-19 spectacle has enveloped us, which is that at the green markets, at the farmers markets, and at the community gardens, the community compost drop-off abruptly stopped. And I was wondering, what's that about? Why did they do that? Why did they stop that? The compost site over on the East River, over there, pretty close to the Manhattan Bridge in the background here, also closed. They said, no, we can't collect your food waste anymore. I thought maybe because they thought that there would be virus particles in the food waste, and they didn't know how to control it. They were afraid, so they want to shut down all vectors, right? All transmission vectors of the virus. So they said, well, let's shut down the compost. Just keep putting in those trash bags again. Then, on May 1st, the city Department of Sanitation announced that they're not going to collect the compost anymore. So now, all of our avenues for depositing our food waste, turning our valuable organic material into even more valuable fertilizer and a nutrient source for soil, now we have nowhere to put it except for just dump it in the river. I mean, right? What else are we going to do? There are various composting organizations around, private, public, nonprofit, for-profit, who I'm going to reach out to, and I'm going to see. That's what I'm working on now, so this is a real-time update. You will be sure to hear more updates in the coming days and weeks on that topic. It's just very disappointing. It's very disappointing. And I'll say one last thing, which is I just submitted a comment to the mayor's office recently, to Mayor Bill de Blasio's office recently through his website, and I said, Mayor Bill, Mayor de Blasio, I voted for you. Now is the time that we need to expand compost. I'm going to get close up to the camera so you can see my face. Now is the time that we need to expand compost, not make it smaller. There's more jobs. The trucks aren't full enough. Well, then make a public education campaign. Hire some people to do that, right? Make a public education campaign so people know what compost is. Put some scientists and researchers to work to figure out, is there really virus in the compost pile? How long does it last? How long does it survive in the compost pile? Because those things are hot, right? They're clean. So you're going to hire people to make the education, the public service announcements. You're going to hire people to run the food waste to fertilizer breakdown process. There's economic development opportunities abound when you expand compost, because everybody is at home now. Everybody is eating all of their meals at home now. So the amount of organic waste in the waste stream from home has increased. So why are you cutting the organic waste collection program when the amount of organic waste being generated has increased? This is absolutely ridiculous. Mayor Bill, you've made a huge mistake. Luckily, you can reverse it. You're going to put organic waste from residences back in the budget, and you're never going to remove it again because it makes absolutely no sense. Are we going to go back to the tenement era when people are dumping their waste out the windows and spreading typhoid and dysentery and, right? Is that where we're going? No, we need to proceed to the future. We know that we can convert organic waste into a nutrient source for the soil. We know that we can do this. We're going to keep the organic waste out of those plastic bags where they break down in an oxygen-free anaerobic environment and turn into methane. We're going to prevent that from happening, and we're going to capture all of those nutrients, and we're going to put them back in the soil from which we're going to grow our food, and we're going to create habitats for animals and for the ecosystem because we're all part of it together. Okay, that's going to be all I'm going to say about the organic waste situation here in New York City and compost. I look forward to reporting to you again once we've had some successes in this area. Oh, and we will have successes because climate change is an opportunity, and if anybody who wants to really act on it, who really wants to make change, they know that that's the best way to treat it, as an opportunity. We will win, we will succeed, and we're all going to be better off as a result. Okay, until next time, Matthew Eshed, Climatetech Advisor.